Purity had always been an ordinary girl, or so she thought. She lived in a small village with her mother and younger brother, leading a simple life. Her best friend, Loveth, was always by her side, and they shared everything. On Purity's 15th birthday, her life took an unexpected turn. It was a hot afternoon, and Purity and Loveth decided to fetch water from the stream. They chatted and laughed as they walked, enjoying each other's company. When they reached the stream, Purity leaned over to fill her bucket, but she lost her balance and fell into the water. As soon as she hit the water, a strange sensation washed over her. Her legs began to tingle and merge, transforming into a shimmering, azure tail. Purity screamed in terror, her voice echoing through the trees.
Purity, what's happening to you? Loveth cried, her eyes wide with fear. I don't know. Help me, Loveth.
Purity sobbed, struggling to stay afloat. Loveth quickly waded into the water and pulled Purity to the shore. As soon as Purity was out of the water, her tail transformed back into legs. She sat on the ground, trembling and crying. Please, Loveth, you have to keep this a secret. No one can know about this, Purity begged, her voice shaking. Loveth nodded, her face pale.
I promise, Purity. I won't tell anyone.
Days turned into weeks, and Purity struggled to come to terms with her new reality. She avoided water at all costs, terrified of transforming again. Loveth kept her promise, but their friendship began to strain under the weight of the secret. At school, Purity caught the attention of Ben, the most handsome and popular boy in their class. Loveth had always had a crush on Ben, and seeing him fall for Purity filled her with jealousy and resentment. One day, Loveth confronted Purity.
Why does he like you? I've tried everything to get his attention, but he only has eyes for you. I don't know, Loveth.
I never asked for this, Purity replied, her voice filled with sadness. Stay away from him, Purity. If you don't, I'll tell everyone your secret, Loveth threatened, her eyes blazing with anger. Purity's heart sank. She couldn't risk her secret being exposed, so she began to avoid Ben. But Ben was persistent, and he continued to seek her out, determined to win her heart. One evening, Purity and Ben found themselves alone in the school garden. They talked and laughed, and before they knew it, they were kissing. Loveth, who had been watching from a distance, stormed away in a fit of rage. The next day, Purity was announced as the best-performing student in their class. The recognition only fueled Loveth's jealousy, and she became determined to expose Purity's secret. During a class, Loveth fetched a bowl of water and, without warning, poured it over Purity. The transformation was immediate. Purity's legs merged into a tail, and she sat there, exposed and humiliated. The classroom erupted into chaos. Some students ran away in fear, while others mocked her.
No wonder she's good at everything.
She's not even human, one student sneered. Purity looked at Loveth, tears streaming down her face. Why did you do this to me?
I trusted you.
Loveth's face was a mask of cold satisfaction.
Because you took everything from me.
With no way to dry off quickly, Purity had to wait for the water to evaporate on its own. More students came in to see the spectacle, and the humiliation was unbearable. When Ben saw the scene, he turned and ran, his face filled with disappointment.
I can't be with a mermaid, he said, his voice breaking.
Ben started dating Loveth, and Purity's world crumbled. She couldn't stand the shame and stopped going to school. She didn't want her mother to know, fearing it would break her heart. At home, Purity avoided water at all costs. She waited for everyone to go to bed before taking her bath and woke up early to prepare for school. She pretended to leave for school but would sneak back into her room through the window. Her younger brother, however, noticed her strange behavior. One day, he threatened to pour water on her, and she ran away in fear. Their mother, watching the scene, grew suspicious and called Purity over. Purity denied anything was wrong, but her mother wasn't convinced. One day, Purity's mother forced her to go to the stream to fetch water. While there, Purity slipped and fell into the water, transforming into a mermaid. She screamed, knowing her secret was exposed. To her surprise, her mother wasn't terrified. Instead, she smiled and said, "Purity, you are the chosen one." Her mother helped her out of the water and promised to explain everything later. At home, she told Purity the story behind her transformations. Once in every 100 years, a mermaid is born to save our people from the midnight water attack.
The chosen one is always a maiden with a pure heart. Do not be afraid or ashamed of who you are.
People who know will always respect and love you because you are their savior, her mother said, her voice filled with pride. Purity confessed her absence from school, but her mother encouraged her to return.
You have a mission, Purity.
Focus on achieving it and ignore the gossip. Purity's mother introduced her to the wise men, who guided and directed her towards her mission. Every day after school, Purity visited the wise men to learn about her powers and how to control them. At school, she ignored everyone and focused on her studies and her mission. 6 months later, the sky turned red, signaling the impending midnight water attack. The villagers were terrified, knowing they had never heard of a mermaid who could save them. On the 12th month, the midnight water appeared in the village square, ready to wreak havoc. People cried and ran in fear, but Purity knew what she had to do. She appeared from nowhere and held the water, releasing a powerful fire magic. She transformed into a mermaid and jumped into the water, sacrificing herself to save the village. The water dried up, and the attack was thwarted. The villagers hoped to see Purity again, but she was gone. The villagers built a place of worship in the village square and named it after Purity. They paid their respects to her, honoring her sacrifice. Ben and Loveth regretted their actions and prayed for Purity's forgiveness. Purity's mother, knowing what was to come, had already consoled herself. She found a golden amulet under Purity's bed, which brought them wealth and success. Purity's story became a legend, a testament to the power of love, sacrifice, and the strength to embrace one's true self. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the story, please subscribe to our channel, Sabina Stories, home of original African folktales with moral lessons.
Thank you.